Right, our garage and test facility. Let's see what we're rolling out today to drive. All we have to do is press the magic button. Looks like another Lexus. Wow, I'm on a roll. I think this is what, the 6th one I've had in the past 2 months. Why complain, right? This is the IS350, designed to compete with the BMW 3 Series, Audi A4, A3, and some dinky Mercedes models I can't remember. And apparently this one has the F-Sport package, which means it's going to cost an awful lot of money. We'll get to the price in a moment. Personally, I think this is a nice looking vehicle, especially with this blue paint. In case you're interested, the official color is Ultrasonic Blue Mica. I know someone's going to ask, so now you know. And every now and then I get an email from somebody telling me how ugly this vehicle looks with this grille, and I don't agree. I think the vehicle looks good. I think the grille looks good, but that's me. I mean, in the age of look-alike cars, at least you know here we're driving a Lexus and nothing else. About 5 months ago, we also drove the GS350 Lexus, same engine here, except the vehicle is a bit larger and more expensive. If you want to see that vehicle test, we'll have that in part 2, coming up at the end of part 1. Just click on the link and watch. In case you're wondering what this cost, I have the price sticker right here. Let's take a close look. Here's the base price, but as always, lots of options. I won't read it all. I'll just let you read it on the screen as I scroll down and look at the prices on the right. Lots of stuff there. And there's your total tab. Pardon my shaky hand, but I don't use a tripod anymore. They all broke. If that price tag is too much for you, there is a less expensive version of this car called the IS300. It is a 2-liter 4-cylinder, putting out 241 horsepower. Fuel economy of 21 to 30 mpg. Runs around 38,000 bucks. For those who prefer a V6 like me, here you go, 3.5 liters, 311 horsepower, 280 foot-pounds of torque. Fuel economy rated at 20 to 28 mpg. Using premium fuel, of course. Now, some of you car buffs out there might say, hey, isn't this the same basic engine used in the Toyota Camry, which is not recommended premium, says you can run on regular? I could give you some comments on that, but the official position of Lexus is read your owner's manual and follow the guidelines. So I have to use premium. I have to tell you to use premium. But if you own one of these and want to use regular, I'll give you a hint. Give it a try. Might save you some money at the pump. These are expensive looking headlights, 4 big bulbs in each side. As we do in all my videos, we're going to take them out in the dark and see how they perform, so we'll do that right now. It's dark enough, let's see how these headlights do. Here we have the low beams on the building 100 feet away, very bright but a bit low to the ground. About 6 to 8 inches or so. Let's put on the brights. Adequate. Here we have the brights on the building 300 feet away, and a bunch of trespassers doing some illegal activity they shouldn't be. Pretty bright. Go low beam, reaches out around, pretty low on the left, about 200 feet on the right. Adequate, I would say. Poor guys, he dumped all their stuff over the fence. Oh well. Here's what the rest of the interior looks like in the dark. Everything lights up quite well. Okay, let's try this again. And just for your information, those lights off to the right, that's one of the country's largest strip clubs. And after hours, the female employees that work there hook up with some of the degenerates that go in there. and conduct business over in that little spot that we saw previously. But I scared them off, so let's redo the light test. As we can see, now we have a more clear picture, a good wide spread on the brights, good height. Go back to low beam, about 130 feet to the left and about 200 on the right, I would say. Now we're concluded on the headlight test. Maybe I shouldn't leave. If I stick around, I could get a hot date tonight, huh? No, thanks. Let's check out the trunk and see if we got a spare tire. Yep, sure do. And since we have the trunk open, I'm going to open the glove box and get rid of this thick owner's manual so we can have some room in here. Jeez, look at the size of that thing. Fits just fine in the cargo net. Out of sight, out of mind. So let's take a look at the rest of the vehicle. Our government-approved sticker lists this as a 5-passenger and tells us to do the tire pressures at 36 pounds all around. Well, obviously we have room for 2 in front with the 2 bucket seats. And 2 full-size adults will fit in the second row. Where's the third one going to be? In the trunk, I guess. This is a 4-passenger, not a 5, but it's not the fault of Lexus, it's the fault of our stupid government bureaucrats. Although with many cars this size, you could fit 3 monkeys in the back. A lot of IS350 owners find the ride to be a bit on the stiff side. I would tell you to lower the tire pressures from 36 to 32 and tell you it does not affect handling at all, but once again, Lexus wants me to tell you to operate things at factory specs. So I won't tell you to do that. And for our tests, we will be running 36 pounds as required. What you do with your car after that is up to you, of course. If you watch my videos, there's one feature I cannot stand on cars. That is the dirt shelf under the door where all this nasty stuff collects from the road and gets on your pants. But fortunately, the rocker panels are so narrow, your leg really doesn't touch that very much. So I'll give it a pass on this one. You should keep this clean anyway, though. As far as the rest of the interior, the quality materials and workmanship, very good. And sitting back here in the second row seat, I'm still trying to find out how you fit 3 people back here. Someone send me a video if you can, please. If you're picky about what your gauge cluster looks like, you can change it at the press of a button. There you go. You also have the Eco, Normal, Customized, Sport, Sport Plus knob. That can also change the gauge cluster. The 8-speed automatic can be shifted manually, or you can use the paddle shifters if you want to choose your own gears. They're mounted on the steering wheel, but they belong, not on the steering column like the Italians do, for some weird reason where they don't belong. If you want heated or air-conditioned seats, simple press of a button. Unlike some fancy cars, we have to scroll through the infotainment system about a dozen times. This is a lot simpler and a lot better. The cruise controls are located down here. A good place to be. Some people complain about this. I don't know why. The perfect spot as far as I'm concerned. A lot of the later Lexus models are going to a finger touch pad for the infotainment system, which I don't like at all. It's too awkward to use. This stick is far better. Just move it around and pick the system you want. If you want the navigation, just press the map button. And there you go. The screen's large enough. The climate controls are very simple, easy to use, although this finger touch for the temperature is totally inferior to a knob. Give us a knob, please. This is, no thanks. But we have to use it because it's all they offer. It works, what can I tell you? But a knob like this is always better. I do have one complaint with this cabin, something that should have been fixed a long time ago. It has to do with the sun visors. They do flip to the side in an attempt to block out the sun from the passenger windows and driver's window. Problem is, it doesn't slide back and forth, so you have this big gap where your face gets roasted on a sunny day. I mean, come on, how long have they been making cars? Even the cheapest $10,000 Korean cars have sun visors that slide back and forth. It's going to be around 90 degrees today, and who wants the sun, which, there you go. Who wants that roasting your face? I guess the only solution is to have the windows tinted. I don't think a poorly designed sun visor system is going to be a deal killer. So let's end the show and tell session and go to the second half of the video. We're going to do some actual driving and fuel economy runs. As far as the power steering goes, Lexus did a great job of making their electric system feel hydraulic. Great feel, good feedback, whether it's in the normal or sport mode. There won't be very many complaints. Let's take a quick turn in our performance circle. And then around and around we go. Will it spin out? Do we know? A bit of body lean. It is in the Sport Plus mode. I'm cheating a bit. But still, it's really hugging the road. Impresses me. As we do in all my videos, we're going to take some speed bumps at 20 miles per hour to see how the suspension performs on impacts. And I do have it in the normal mode, not sport, to keep things smooth. So let's give it a go. Speed bump number 1. Not too bad. Number 2. Number 3. And here comes the big nasty one. In spite of the high tire pressures, did very well. Want to race? I guess he doesn't want to race. Lexus claims a 0 to 60 time of 5.6 seconds, which is brisk enough if you can do it, but what puzzles me, every time I get a Japanese car with 300 horsepower, it's 5.6 seconds, but every time I get a German car with 300 horsepower, it blasts down the straightaway at 4.6 seconds. I guess German horsepower is more effective than Japanese horsepower, perhaps. In any case, in the sport mode, automatic drive, let's give it a shot. Whoa, got some good wheel spin there. A bit of stalling. I don't have a stopwatch if you got one at home. Give it the best shot. These are nice brakes, by the way. Very good feel, too. For the past 90 miles, we've been driving heavy city traffic, doing our 0 to 60 runs. So as you can see, the fuel economy dropped a bit. We're going to take this out on a freeway run and see if we can bump up the figures a bit. So I'll reset to 0 and away we go. By the way, I know I'm going to get an email from somebody telling me how dirty my car is. I can't do anything about that because we have dust storms every day this week. I clean everything, and all this dust and dirt comes right back about a half hour later. I can't do a thing about it. That's just the way it is. Yeah. We're coming to the end of our trip. We're going to pull over and see what our fuel economy reading is. We're doing at least 75 miles per hour for those who want to know. And a lot of passing. Well, let's see, 112 miles, There you go. 27.8. Pretty close to the EPA claims. We're going to reset everything back to 0 and do one more fuel economy test. We're coming into town. That means the end of our journey. We'll pull over and see what our fuel economy says. 118 miles, 29.1 mpg. A bit better than last time, I would say. Our goal was to put 500 miles on the clock. We're almost there, so tomorrow morning we're going to wrap up this video and then ship the car back to Lexus. Whether the IS350 really competes with the European cars from BMW and Audi is a matter of opinion. But one thing for sure, when the warranty runs out on this car, it's going to keep running, unlike the European sports sedans that start falling apart and turn into money pits. And that makes the Lexus a very desirable vehicle for that reason alone. The quality is certainly here, and that can't be disputed. If this is enough engine for you, but you could use a larger vehicle, the Lexus GS350 might work. Here's a link for that video coming up next, part 2.